So, you've come for some treatment, have you, sir? Let's try and get some of this car carpet on the panels. It's really windy outside, so I brought it inside. See what we can do. Place these up against the wall. They don't look bad. Obviously got to put some fixings in. Probably I did think about, I don't know, Velcro or something like that to hold them in place, but I might just stick a few screws for it. I know it won't look as tidy. It won't look as tidy, but I don't know what to do with it yet, but it's quite neat. Yeah, I might just stick a few screws for it. So that's it. Probably have to come back out again because the other work I'm doing on the van, that's that side. So don't know, there's a few options of fixing the screws with the caps on, maybe. We'll see. Now, the other thing I'm tinkering around with today, just testing out mounting these. This is just a piece of tongue and groove cladding that's going to go on the ceiling. That I've got this from the wood yard as a sample to mount the lights in. So I thought I'd have a go just getting the lights mounted in, because these lights are supposed to have a I think it's a 58mm hole, and I can only get a 57mm hole cutter. It's an Arbour hole cutter, and an Arbour Arbour goes with it as well. Straightforward to fit. So what I'm thinking is, because it's an undersized hole cutter, where these two friction points go into the wood, I could probably just file those out, and that might just give me enough just to push that in. Let's give it a go. So yeah, so yeah, the cable's fine. So yeah, you can see what I did there. Just notched out either side of the hole, just to take these clips, and that, it's not going to go anywhere, and they look quite nice. So yeah, I'll be quite happy with that. A little bit of graft, the old file. So I've got 6 of them. Yeah, just got to be careful not to take too much off, otherwise it'll won't hold. Then if you do, you can always just move it round and start again, can't you? So yeah, not a bad little light that. I didn't go for the touch sensitive. I was umming and ahhing whether to go for the touch sensitive ones, but I didn't in the end. Apparently you can have a few problems with them. Although it's no biggie because you can just replace them really easy. Thanks everyone for the advice that you gave me about the electrics. I've had quite a few comments about the electrics, and it's got things a little bit straighter in my head. And I don't know what it is. I think some people like me just have a mental block, because I've known people over the years, you talk to them about electrics, and they can really work it out. Really, the wiring, they can work everything out like that, like the same as plumbers and electricians and electronics engineers, computer programmers, those sort of people. That you have those sort of brains where it's very logical. You can see the patterns of the wiring and where something goes. You can see it all. My brain's not quite like that. It's not logical at all. Yeah, mine's not really a brain that's suited for electrics. But we'll get it done. It's just a case of plodding along, get all the wiring, get the wiring in with the battery and the fuse boxes and stuff like that, and lay it all out and see what I've got. But let's sort this bloody microphone. I need to get a new camera. This camera is just no good. It's useless. It's useless for this sort of thing. It's an action camera for my motorbike. It's not good for this sort of thing, really. Need something with like dedicated microphone, blah, blah, and all that, you know. But I'm not a YouTuber as such. Yeah, I need to get the electrics laid out. I'm going to see what I've got. There's things that confuse me because cable sizes confuse me. There's a company, I can't remember what they're called. They're on eBay. A couple of people have used them that I know of. They can provide you with a whole wiring kit for the battery side of stuff. So if I bought that in the last video when I was talking about the C-Tech D250SA battery to battery charger, smart charger thing, they can provide that, but they can also provide a wiring kit for not that much more money than the unit itself. You just tell them how long you want the cable run to be. So they'll provide you with the cables from the starter battery to the leisure battery, from leisure battery to the unit, and so on. What confuses me, it says it's a 10mm cable from the starter battery to the leisure battery. Now this is a company, I'm assuming they must know what they're doing. They specialise in this sort of thing. It says a 10mm cable, and I've looked at lots of videos where they've used a 16mm cable, like proper battery cable, to cope with the amps. But again, you may as well be talking Swahili, because absolutely no idea. But that's going to be my best chance. I think my best chance is going to be buy me battery, get hold of this company and say, right, I want that charger and all the associated cables and the fuses as well, because they send you fuses. I think they give you a diagram, but they send you fuses because you have to have a fuse between the battery and the charger, and then a fuse between the charger and something else, and then everywhere you go with the wires you've got to have a fuse. And then you have to think, well, what size fuse? How big's the fuse got to be? So hopefully by buying a kit off of them, they'll give me advice and a diagram on how it goes, where everything goes, and if I have any problems, I've got a point of contact I can, go to say, look, I'm having a problem with this. So that might be my safest bet. But it's like anything, you're learning as you go along. So I know more about electrics now. Not a lot, but I know more about electrics than when I started, because just by looking things up, starting to. But the internet can be an absolute blessing, but it can be an absolute curse. It can. There's a lot of wrong information out there, and you have to decide who you're going to trust. Obviously, as YouTubers, I trust because they've done it. They've done the systems. The systems work. They're fine. Some of them have been tested, and they know what they're doing. You look at parts of their other build, and they know what they're doing. So I trust their advice. An auto electrician, obviously, to trust their advice because they're experts. But every now and again, you see forums. Forums are dangerous. I'll tell you something about forums. While it's on my mind, this is a real pet hate of mine. This is a real pet hate. You go on a forum, someone posts a question, right? And they're desperately seeking advice. So say I went to a forum and I put a question on there. It might be, what size cable do I need to attach to a starter battery to a leisure battery, right? Simple question. What size cable do I need? And people will start posting their opinions on there. And then all of a sudden, you'll get someone post on there, well, I've never had to put a battery in, or I've never had to run a cable from a battery to battery, but, and then they start talking about something completely different. And I'm thinking, well, if you've never done it, and you don't know what what the answer is to my question, don't post anything. And if you're going to talk about something else, go on another forum. And then that triggers off other responses to their post, and before you know it, you've had 1 or 2 answers, and the next 50 are completely unrelated. And you probably find that if you go on to you put in a search engine, you want to find a question that you want to find the answer to. You find a forum and you think, oh, excellent, and you see 1, 2 questions and answers, and then the rest is like completely off topic. So I hate forums, I really do. Yeah, for me, it's probably best to just talk to someone. Say, look, this is what I've got. How does it all go together? Like, I'll put it together, but just need to, don't need anyone to do it necessarily. But I just want to know what I'm doing, and it's going to be safe, obviously. Anyway, it's enough of my waffle. I've got things to do. Got tea to finish. Look for some fixings for my panelling. Start planning the roof vent. Get that done. I'll catch you later. Ta-ra, guys. Let's crack on.